Okay, trickle in, guys. Trickle in.
So we've got pollution that way, and we can't, how are we going to grow enough crops to feed all the people if we don't get rid of filthiness in our air? So it's not just CO2.
My message is not new. I'm Peg Prendergast. I'm the president of the League of Women Voters here in Kansas City. Our president met with, our president of the Missouri League met with Senator McCaskill last month. I'm sure you know that, in Washington, D.C. with the cutting the gas emissions. I hate producing paper, but sometimes it's always a good reminder as to the impacts of energy. And not only should we have clean energy, we believe that we should have a comprehensive energy package. And that's in two cases. We need to continue to have a clear cap on the greenhouse gases so that mitigates climate change, not only here but globally. Mm-hmm. And then we need to establish a funding for international adaptation to enhance the world's security. I mean, we know that Senator McCaskill's biggest concern is jobs, and putting this into effect is potentially her, and she has a large contingent that are dependent upon their jobs. But there's also the global world.
Sharon Pendleton. I was here earlier with you, Corey, and since then have had the opportunity to get a little letter published in the paper.
Letter to the editor. It was just ran yesterday.
I sent it into the editor and got it into the business. It was about jobs creation. It's about the idea of Kansas City in this area having some, being the focus, manufacturing sector for the U.S. of wind energy and solar energy. Yeah. There's quite a bit of solar being created in some other industry in the United States. And this would be an area for Senator McCaskill's job creation to kind of push that forward and move us all in the right direction. So that was...
I'm Sue Saxberry, and I would just like to kind of jump on what she said in that, Iowa has created out of the old abandoned Whirlpool Maytag factory wind power. They're making turbines up there. Mm-hmm. And while it's hard in Iowa to have access to the rail lines, here we're so centrally located Bill, with the idea that Kansas City could become a center of manufacturing these things. Yeah. Solar, then it's a win-win.
I know the House has already passed ACES, and so it's important for the Senate to pass something similar. Yeah. And I think as Sharon said, it's not just a local problem, it's a worldwide problem, and the United States needs to play its part, and it does need to be ASAP.
I have a lot of personal roots in what's going on because I used to work at Honeywell in the aviation area, and aviation is one of the biggest polluters to the planet. And I make paycheck, you don't see it at the individual level, but overall it does make a big impact. And I'm a dislocated worker, and what I've done is try to learn the home energy audit potential. In essence, try to create my own job. And I know jobs are a key issue for Claire McCaskill, and that I believe that the jobs that we may lose related to the coal, the mining, and some of the production there are definitely ones that we can transition to the clean energies, be it wind, be it solar. We've got great companies here in Missouri that are doing good things within the solar industry.
I'm Christina Grandy. I work with the Human Rights Office at the Diocese of Kansas St. Joe. And mostly in the past year, we've really had a push in our diocese to establish green teams within our individual parishes that will help make the churches themselves and the parishioners' houses more green and efficient. And so we've seen a huge responds to this, then we know that our parishioners are really interested in this. It's an important issue to them, that they want to be better stewards of the earth. And they want to have the earth for their children and their grandchildren.
The energy stuff, everything. So that needs to be a general law. So like the cap and trade kind of thing, that's it. You're putting it on the bottom line. But everything ought to have a cap and trade.
Yeah.
You put something out there that has to be recycled, it has to be reused in some way or another, a Coke bottle, whatever. It has to have, that's on the bottom line. The industry has to figure out how to deal with it.
The sun's free, the wind's free.
And geothermal is free.
Yes.
Well,
I mean, there are other ways to produce
And
electricity.
we could actually use the caves here in Missouri for some
Oh, wow.
geothermal
Yeah.
You can actually use that underground system for heat exchanges. So why not use that?
I'm very inclined. I think pretty much everybody said pretty much what I want to say. We need to get rid of dirty, filthy coal. There's other ways to produce electricity. The sun's free, the wind's free.
Something that I've always kind of thought growing up anyway, we're always taking all this stuff out of the environment, and there should be some kind of corporate responsibility to put something back. So
we do. And Whole Foods Market, we are growing and booming. Our store alone has created so many job openings and job positions. Like, we have new full-time positions that are created out of growth that don't get cut back. It's not wavering. I mean, we have like just unprecedented, like, golden nugget of opportunity and people.
And we develop ecosystem communities. And we also have environmental technology as a division, which is dealing with solar power and biofuels. And what I would like to ask about the legislation, what particular sticking point does Ms. McCaskill have that would either make her vote against it or particularly vote on that, cause her to vote against it?
Well, the legislation that is being talked about in the Senate right now, there is no legislation right now. There's just ideas that are floating around. So until we see actual Senate legislation, I can't say exactly what the sticking points are. But generally, all along, she has said that she wants to make sure that, you know, whatever bill is passed is something that everyday consumers can afford to pay for. And so, you know, that's kind of the sticking point, that in you know, this tough economy and, you know, people are hurting, she just doesn't want them to hurt more.
And consumers.
Are we adding up a bill? If there is none?
There is a bill. It's hitting the floor pretty soon for Earth Day.
Who said there was just thoughts?
It hasn't been introduced.
It hasn't been introduced to the floor, so it doesn't have a number, it doesn't have a name, but it's being
But it has people in charge of it.
Yes, Carrie, Boxer, Lindsey Graham. It's a bipartisan piece of legislation.
Things. Along with her reference to the solar water heater, all through Europe they do the same. I know Greece, when my mom was at the Olympics a number of years ago, like what, 5 years ago at this point, they used them then. And the key right now is we just need clean energy, and we need it now. We can't wait.
Yeah.
Do we have any idea as far as when Claire is going to make a stance? If she's going to be a leader on the bill, or when she's going to come out as far as what she's going to support with it and everything's going to work?
Well, I think the first step is just actually being able to see a bill and what the language is and what it means and analysis, that kind of thing. So I think that's the first step, and then from there, we'll see.